What's going on, everybody? UnrealEntGaming here, back at it with another episode of this week's Fan Mail of the Week. Oh my god, we have a lot of questions to cover today. So much to do. Once again, I apologize if I don't answer all of your questions, everybody. I get about 100 messages per day, so you can imagine how that is for me. So let's begin, nonetheless, with our first question of the day, which is from Lego Godzilla 123. All right, here we go. Hey, Alex, this is my first time sending you fan mails, so let's get on with the questions. All right, question 1. I heard you were an Ed, and Eddie fan growing up, as I am as well. I was wondering, did you ever see the movie that ended the series? Ed, and Eddie's Big Picture Show. If you haven't, you should have saw it. It's awesome. Did you like the show? All right, question 2. Have you ever seen any of the old Japanese Godzilla movies from the country that they were originally made in? Because they're awesome, and you would be seeing Pacific Rim this year and Godzilla next year. Question 3. Who do you think would win if Boo absorbed Goku instead of Gohan and became Buku? And Gohan and Vegeta used the Potara to fuse and Vejihan. Well, those are all my questions for today. Hope you answer them in episode 31. P.S. You're awesome. Thank you for your question, Mr. Lego Godzilla. All right, to answer your first question, I don't recall watching the final movie of Ed, and Eddie. I remember when I was a kid, it involved something with them being a little older or something like that. I really did. I mean, the memory is very vivid. But Ed, and Eddie, I used to love that show growing up. I mean, it was one of my favorites. I used to come home from school and just drop my backpack off, and every freaking day around 4:30, I used to turn on my TV. I believe it was Cartoon Network, yeah. So I used to turn it on. I used to watch that shit every fucking day. It was incredible. To me, I loved Ed, and Eddie. I mean, there's no other TV show that can come close to that back in the day. Back in the day, you used to turn on Fox Kids, Cartoon Network, and you always used to watch these shows, and it was awesome. I mean, besides Ed, and Eddie alone, you had Dexter's Laboratory, you had Ed, and Eddie, you had Dragon Ball Z, you had Godzilla, you had all these other freaking awesome ass shows. And today, I mean, it's a lot different today than it was back in the day. But certainly Ed, and Eddie, I was a huge fan growing up. I really do wonder why they ended the series. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really do wonder why they ended a lot of series. A lot of TV shows had canceled. A lot of TV shows had ended abruptly, and I really wondered why they ended Ed, and Eddie. Was it because of the ratings? Was it because, it wasn't pulling as much as they wanted to? But as for Ed, and Eddie's Big Picture, I don't believe I saw it, but I'm definitely gonna go back and watch it because I've been itching to watch some Ed, and Eddie lately, especially some of the more recent episodes, quote unquote, nearing toward the end. So definitely have to go check that out. But Ed, and Eddie, without a doubt, I was a huge fan and still am to this day. And I mean, till the day I die, I'm always gonna remember that show as being one of those shows that I actually loved to sit there and watch from like beginning to end. So to answer your second question, yes, I actually have seen a lot of Godzilla movies in Japanese. I saw a lot of fights with Godzilla as well. Godzilla versus King Kong, Godzilla versus Metal Godzilla, all that kind of stuff. Granted, the effects were really mediocre. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was actually watching one with Paul, and we were both just laughing our asses off because visually the movie was horrible. I mean, just effects wise, the movie was terrible. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm a Godzilla fan to a certain extent, because the latest movie that came out in 1998 or 1999, I believe, with Godzilla. I like that Godzilla movie, except I found a few things wrong with it. Number one, Godzilla was supposed to be a lot bigger than what it was in the 1999 film. And number two, I mean, he was supposed to have like all these unique little powers. So I love the way they told the story in the 1999 version of Godzilla, pretty much, with the nuclear bombs going off and all the radiation affecting the animals and whatnot. So therefore, pretty much affecting these lizards that pretty much became like these super giants and whatever. I mean, it was really unique. As for Pacific Rim, I saw Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim was amazing. That's what Transformers should have been. It was really good. It was really awesome. I loved how they had the Jaegers fight the kaiju. It was absolutely amazing. So Pacific Rim is definitely a movie that you should watch without a doubt that involves monsters. The visuals were amazing. The graphics and the animation and all the special effects were just on par with something like Transformers, and if not even better. As for Godzilla next year, I am really really excited for that because I really want to see how they're going to utilize that. On my Facebook page, I posted up a few pictures of the Godzilla posters. One of them in particular, all you saw was Godzilla's tail, and all you saw was like these choppers, and these choppers look like little ants compared to his tail. So I really cannot wait for that. So Pacific Rim, great movie. Godzilla next year, I mean, definitely something you guys have to go see. And to answer your last question, Boo and Goku. That would be very interesting because, I mean, with the fighting experience that Goku has, Boo would be fucking strong as hell. But would it make a difference? I don't believe it would because, like I said, the Potara earrings, it multiplies your power. So whatever Vegeta and Gohan decide to do or whatever, their powers are going to multiply. So whether it be, Goku versus Vejihan, I do believe that a character like Vejihan would win because, their powers would multiply. And plus you have Ultimate Gohan in there too, so he's supposed to be a little stronger than Goku in his Super Saiyan 3 form, so therefore giving him the advantage, so to say. So I mean, at this point it doesn't really matter who Boo absorbs. If anybody fuses with the Potara earrings that involves Vegeta or Gohan or Goku, you can expect their powers to triple because there's absolutely no freaking way. Boo can absorb anybody. There's no way he can even come close. Unless he absorbs a GT character, which isn't canon, but if it was possible, that's the only way I can see it. Like if Boo absorbs Baby or Omega Shenron or something like that. But thank you for your question, man. On to the next question, which is from 11 Dogs Dragon Snap. Hi, how's the chair? Asshole. Yeah, the chair's alright. I'm planning on getting a new chair soon. So, alright, here we go. Question 1. What would you do in a zombie apocalypse? Question 2. What games will you do in the future? Question 3. What video game is better? Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast 2 or Black Ops 2? Question 4. Who is stronger, Yamcha or Master Roshi? Final question. Who would win in a fight? Super Saiyan 3 Future Trunks or Super Janemba? Thank you for answering my questions. P.S. Fuck you, Paul! P.S.S. If you don't answer my questions, it is Paul's fault. P.S.S.S.S. Fuck you, squids. Yes, the squids must die. Alright, to answer your first question, what would I do in a real-life zombie apocalypse? In a real-life zombie apocalypse, guys, you have to understand a few things. Number one, it's not going to be, all jolly and nifty and everything's going to be all right sort of thing. Everything is going to be absolutely just chaotic. Everything's going to be, just destructive in and of itself. If a zombie apocalypse happened, number one, the media would cover that and they would blow it way out of proportion sometimes. If anything, they'll try to cover it up. But if a zombie apocalypse happened, what would I do? Number one, if I realized that the outbreak was huge and there was no way of getting around it, I would barricade myself in my home. I would legitly use other people's furniture. I would break, house to house. I would break in from house to house to grab furniture and just secure my entire perimeter. But if I knew I had time, I would definitely try to escape New York because New York is one of the many places you do not want to be in when a zombie apocalypse hits. And the reason why I say that is because there's about, 16 million people here? That's a lot of people. So especially if we're talking, fast zombies like Dawn of the Dead, World War Z zombies. If they were fast zombies, you would have only a matter of, hours to just probably think of a game plan and just live up to it. Either you stay or you go. If they were running zombies, I would probably go, depending if I had time or not. If I didn't have time, the first thing I would do is I would secure my perimeter, and I would secure it very good. I would make sure that I ration out all my food. I mean, I live in an apartment complex, so I would go from fucking apartment to apartment, taking furniture and taking weapons and taking food and just making sure that I have enough just in case. But then again, if a zombie apocalypse happened, that all depends on the government itself. The government normally, in movies at least, the way they quarantine the place if it gets out of control is they nuke the entire area. So I'm pretty sure that the government would nuke certain cities if it came down to it. If not, if they couldn't, or if they can't, then I would make sure that I'd hold off in my little, safe zone for a while until I decide to leave. Thank God I can drive. So, I mean, if I was able to access a vehicle, I'd get out of there in a heartbeat. But personally for me, I would stay and secure my perimeter, search for weapons, search for food, make sure I conserve, and from there, just try to, utilize the internet as, much as I possibly can until they shut it down, to issue, communication to other people. So, I mean, that's at least what I would do. To answer your second question, what games will I do in the future? You can expect to see a lot of GTA 5, Batman Arkham Origins, WWE 2K14, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, What else? Watch Dogs, Dead Rising 3. I cannot wait to play Red Dead Rising 3. Killzone and all that kind of stuff. So those are the games you can be expecting to see on my channel in the future, along with some throwback games, some old school games as well. I'm not gonna say which ones. You're just gonna have to wait and see on that one. To answer your third question, what game is better, Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast 2 or Black Ops 2? The only reason why I would say Black Ops 2 is more fun is because once you beat Raging Blast 2 and once you've done everything, then what do you do? There's not really much you can do. If they had character creation mode, or if they had like all these other alternative modes, then yeah, it would be a lot more fun than Black Ops 2. But the only reason why I say Black Ops 2 is more fun is because, number one, you have zombies. You have zombies, and that's always fun. You have a bigger multiplayer than Raging Blast 2. I mean, obviously it's a one-on-one online. Granted, Black Ops 2 does have its moments, but still, Black Ops 2 is, fairly a supreme game over Raging Blast 2. I wish that you were able to create your own characters. I wish that you were able to create your own story or something like that in Raging Blast 2. That would have kept me from playing Black Ops 2 a lot more. And to answer your fourth question, who is stronger, Yamcha or Master Roshi? Fuck Yamcha. I have to say Master Roshi. And to answer your final question, Super Saiyan 3, Future Trunks, or Super Janemba, the only reason why I would say Super Janemba is because we saw the way he handled Goku, and we saw the way he handled Vegeta. So what makes you think Future Trunks, even at a Super Saiyan 3 level, can actually match up against them? If anything, if Future Trunks decided to use a sword, Janemba would use his sword. So it would be a battle of the swords, so to say. But Janemba is fairly more powerful than a Super Saiyan 3. That's already confirmed by Akira Toriyama. So, the only way I can see them winning is if they use a fusion, but if they had Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku, then maybe that'll be different, because now you have 3 Super Saiyan 3s that can actually go up against this dude. And maybe if they combine their attacks, maybe they can actually do some good. But not if they do it one-on-one. Hell no. I mean, the only way I can see them beating Janemba is if they jump him. There's certain characters within Dragon Ball Z that if you don't jump them with all the characters, you're going to lose one-on-one. So, those characters being Super Buu Gohan Absorbed, Omega Shenron, Baby, all those other characters, like Broly. You need to jump those characters in a group, because if you don't, then, you're going to fucking get slaughtered out there. So, but thank you for your question, man. On to the next question, which is from Tyran, Washington. Hey Alex, this is Tyran. I am a big fan. I'm 13 years old, and I was born on November 15th, 1999. But let's get on with the questions. Thank you for your life story. All right, question 1. I know what Matt Jenkins 2389 meant when what he was trying to say was, why didn't the Z fighters wish back the Saiyans that were killed by Frieza? And what he meant for the second question was, why didn't the Z fighters wish back Android 16 when Cell stomped his head in? That's true. All right, now I get it. All right, question 2. Do you think Akira Toriyama should make Dragon Ball Z AF and GT canon instead of non-canon? Question 3. What wrestling video game do you think was the best from WWE SmackDown to WWE 2K14? And I know it's not out yet, just its reviews and stuff. All right, cool. Question 3. Do you think people who watch DBZ think they have a great idea for more movies and episodes than Akira Toriyama? Question 4. What wrestling company do you think is better, TNA or WWE? Question 5. Do you miss WWE's Attitude Era, and what do you think about the whole PG thing? All right, thank you for your question, Mr. Washington. To answer your first question, all right, the only reason why I believe they didn't wish back all the other Z fighters or all the other Saiyans on Planet Vegeta when they got destroyed was because, they weren't all good people. I can understand why they didn't wish them back, is because the Saiyan race was a race of assassins. They were a race of mercenaries. They were a race of violent people. Why would you want to bring back an entire planet of people? I mean, first of all, you don't even know if one of them is able or capable of destroying an entire fucking planet by himself. And what I mean by that is, for example, you had a person like Broly come out of that race. What makes you think if you wish back all those Saiyans, another Broly type character might not emerge? You know what I mean? So I think it's a good thing they didn't wish back all the Saiyans, because that right there would have just ensued a lot more trouble for the Z fighters, for Goku, for Vegeta. Granted, because those Saiyans would eventually find Earth and they would try to destroy it, so It's a good thing they didn't do that. As for Android 16, I'm not really sure about that one. I think it would have been pretty cool to have 16 on your side, but then again, they have Android 18, so why would you have two Androids on the Z Fighter team? You know what I mean? Even though Android 18 didn't really do much throughout the entire freaking series, I think 16 would have been a better replacement, because 16 would have been like one of those big juggernaut types that would sacrifice his life in order to keep the people alive. Whereas in 18, all she really cared about was Krillin and her daughter, and that was pretty much it. To answer your second question, do I think that Akira Toriyama should make GT canon as well as AF? Well, for starters, Dragon Ball AF was not created by Akira Toriyama at all. Dragon Ball AF was created by fans, so it has nothing to do with the actual Akira Toriyama projects. As for GT, I do believe that GT should have been canon, and I do believe that GT should have been made by Akira Toriyama, because that right there would have been a lot better if you had the actual creator go back and, you know, create his own vision of Dragon Ball GT, rather than having all the other stupid shit that they had in fucking GT, which is terrible. To answer your third question, what was the best game? I mean, I can't really say 2K14, because like you just said, they're only giving reviews. How could you base a game only on its review, you know? So I would have to say 2K. I would have to say WWE 13, because WWE 13 offered so much. Create your own arena, create your own character, create your own finisher. It had the Attitude Era moments and whatnot. It had the Attitude Era characters. It was really, really awesome to see that. You know, so much to do in that game, and till this day, I do believe that WWE 13 is the best WWE game. Everybody always says, "Oh, Here Comes the Pain's better." Here Comes the Pain was awesome, but nothing can compare to WWE 13. I mean, just the overall sheer amount of characters and the things you can do in the game is just amazing in and of itself. So I would have to say WWE 13. To answer your third question, as funny as that may be, that's actually true. There are a lot of people out there who think that they have better ideas than Akira Toriyama, and actually some of them do. Whereas in the other half, really don't know what they're talking about. But Akira Toriyama, I do believe that his vision of Dragon Ball Z and GT and Dragon Ball in general has gone a little downhill over the last several years, and maybe it's because he wasn't working on it as much. Maybe it's because he wasn't focused on it as much as, you know, people expect him to be. But I do believe that a lot of people out there have, you know, tremendous ideas, and they have great ideas that I really think Akira Toriyama should look at. Because if Akira Toriyama were to take into consideration what the fans want, maybe, just maybe, Dragon Ball Z could have a revival, having, you know, more episodes and more sagas and more movies and stuff like that. I really don't understand why it's going to take so long to make the second Battle of Gods movie. But Akira Toriyama better step his game up, because if he doesn't, he's going to lose a lot of fans, man. To answer your fourth question, what company do I think is better? WWE is better by far. By far. WWE is way better than TNA. TNA isn't even a competitor at this point. And to answer your final question, of course I missed the WWE Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was the era that, you know, pro wrestling hit its peak. That was the era in which, you know, we saw classic matches, classic moments, something that can never be duplicated ever again. The PG era, it sucks so much dick. It's just terrible. You know, I guess now they're trying to go with the whole PG-13 sort of thing, which can work to a certain extent, but I still believe till this day that WWE needs to cut the PG shit and just go back to the Attitude Era days. I understand things are different, but in pro wrestling, man, you need it. So, but thank you for your questions, man. On to the next question, which is from Michelangelo1999. Hi, Alex. How you doing? I'm doing all right this day. How are you? All right. My name is Michelangelo. In the Netherlands, it's Michelangelo. Okay. I am a new subscriber. This is my first time that I'm sending you fan mail. These are the questions. All right, here we go. Question 1. If Vegito can turn Super Saiyan 3, would he stand the chance against Bills? Question 2. Let me ask you, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? You bastard. No, I do not experience fear. All right, question 3. PS4 or Xbox One? Question 4. What do you think about your power level is. Well, what do I think my power level is? What the hell? Question 5. Do you think that if Broly was serious at the end of movie 10, that he would have won the battle? P.S. Broly is stronger than Cell. P.S. Nice chair you got there. P.S. Sorry for the bad grammar. All right. To answer your first question, Vegito as a Super Saiyan 3 against Bills. I do think that Vegito could stand, like he may stand the chance against him. Can't really refute that. I do believe that if Vegito turned into a Super Saiyan 3, that he could possibly destroy Bills if he took the fight serious. If Vegito were to toy around like he did with Boo, I do believe that he'll get crushed easily. But if Vegito took the fight serious, then yes, I would have to say Super Saiyan 3 Vegito would win. But against Whis, I don't think so. Against Whis, I really don't think so, because Whis is supposed to be 10 times more powerful than Bills. So you can imagine how that's going to turn out. To answer your second question, does a machine like myself ever experience fear? No. I mean, what is there to fear? I mean, seriously. I mean, if I was Android 19, I would have been like, bitch, please, let's just fight. That's what I would have been like. You know, if you die, you die. So does a machine like myself ever experience fear? Absolutely not. To answer your third question, PS4 or Xbox One. Everybody keeps asking me that. I would have to say the PS4 in terms of video games and in terms of exclusives and whatnot. But in terms of online and in terms of online experience, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to say Xbox One. The Xbox 360 has proven to be better than the PS3 in terms of online, having a much more interactive and much more flexible online system than the PS3. The PS3 did have better exclusives, better games, better overall, a better machine. So I do believe that I do believe that the PS4 will be a better machine than the Xbox One. But in terms of online service, I do believe the Xbox One will take that. To answer your fourth question, actually, what is my power level? I don't know, like maybe. I mean, if you can measure power levels by like numbers, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, one would have to be like a baby, so me, I would have to say like 1,000. I don't fucking know. What is your power level? You let me know. And to answer your last question, do I think if Broly would have taken the fight serious, he would have won? Absolutely. I mean, if Broly were to take the fight serious, if any of these characters ever took the fight serious, then they could win easily. You know, I can barely recall any fight that somebody took absolutely serious. Goku toyed around with Frieza. Gohan toyed around with Cell. Vegito toyed around with Boo. Goku toyed around with Kid Buu. Everybody always toyed around with somebody for a little while until they got their asses beat. So I do believe that if somebody were to take the fight serious, then I do believe that that other person may win. So if Broly took the fight serious, then absolutely Broly would have won that fight with ease. But thank you for your question, man. On to the next question, which is from Tabo-san. Hey Alex, I was just wondering if you could do my fan mails. So here are my questions. Question 1. Who do you think would win in a fight, Bills or Exior? Question 2. How good do you think your wrestling career is going to be? Question 3. What is your favorite DBZ villain? I answered that a million times, so I'm going to answer it again. Question 4. How far do you think Goku will be able to go until Gohan, or if Goten were to take his place when he gets too old to fight? Question 5. What is your favorite Dragon Ball fan-made series? P.S. Good luck with the wrestling and God bless. Thank you, man. To answer your first question, Exior or Bills, I do believe that Exior may win. I mean, it's hard to tell. He's half God, half Saiyan, and Bills is pretty much all God. So, but granted, Exior is a Super Saiyan 5, so that would be a fairly interesting fight. I would love to see that without a doubt. I mean, can you imagine if these two fought? It would be a battle of the egos. But in this particular fight, I do believe that somehow Bills may win. But who would I be rooting for? I'd be rooting for Exior, to be honest. But then again, Bills is proven to be, you know, far above a Super Saiyan God, so you can imagine how that may turn out. But in terms of these two, honestly, if Bills were to take the fight serious, then I do believe Bills may win. But since Exior is a Super Saiyan 5, I would have to say Exior. So, To answer your second question, how good do I think my wrestling career is going to be? My wrestling career is going to be great. So as long as people are interested in me, so as long as people book me for events, so as long as I continue to do what I do believe that one day I will be in the WWE without a doubt. I do believe that in my heart. There is no second guessing that, and I do believe that my career is going to be great. So as long as people have faith in me. To answer your third question, favorite DBZ villain, like I always said, if we're only talking about Dragon Ball Z, I would have to say Kid Buu. But overall, in terms of every single character ever made, I would have to say Broly, Kid Buu, and Omega Shenron. Those were some of my favorite characters, especially villains, because they all had like their unique forms and their own unique styles to them. So I would have to say those three. To answer your fourth question, how do I think? Gohan and Goten surpassing Goku. I do believe that if anybody's capable of that, it may be Gohan. But remember, if we're talking ahead of time, then I don't think either of them are going to surpass Goku because Gohan has his family. Goten, I don't know what the hell Goten's doing, but I highly doubt that Goten would be even, close to Goku's level. But if Gohan never had a family, and if Gohan were to train like he did, then I do believe Gohan. But when Goku gets too old to fight, but then again, he's already dead. How is he gonna get too old if you're dead? You know what I mean? You can't die when you're dead. So, and to answer your last question, what is my favorite Dragon Ball animated series? I would have to say the fan-made AF series because Dragon Ball AF. It was really unique the way they told the story. You had Super Saiyan 5s, you had, characters return. So I would have to say the AF series because we saw Super Saiyan 4 Broly fight Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. We saw Exor fight the Z Fighters. We saw Majin Buu come back and absorb Omega Shenron. We saw so many things, and for me, I would have to say AF was the best one for me. If only they had an animated series about that, that would have been awesome, but hey, then again, winners can't be choosers, so. But thank you for your question, man. On to the next question, which is from Goku's hand. Hello, Alex. I am back, and I have some more questions for you. All right, question 1. What games are you looking forward to? Doesn't matter if it's current gen or next gen. Question 2. What do you think of Dragon Ball Z Battle Z? Question 3. I asked this question before, but when are you going to tell the story about Paul and the kid on the beach? I'm sorry, I'm just asking that again and again because I really want to know what Paul did, so smiley face. Question 4, do you watch/like soccer? Thank you for answering my questions. Have a nice day in that chair of yours. Fuck your asshole! Alright, to answer your first question, what games am I looking forward to? Like I said earlier, GTA 5, Dead Rising 3, WWE 2K14, Battle of Z, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, all of those games, man. I'm looking forward to all the games coming out this fall. South Park: The Stick of Truth, all of those games, man. I cannot wait to play them because I am just itching to play them so badly. And hopefully they don't disappoint because if they do, I'm going to be one pissed off person. To answer your second question, what do I think of Dragon Ball Z Battle Z? I do believe that at this point, they kind of disappointed me with not adding GT characters in it. I do believe that Battle of Z is going to be a fairly good game. But with that, is it going to be as good as people say it is? I hope it is. Being that they implemented the Zenkai battles, sort of Royal Rumble kind of thing. They said that they're going to add DLCs. So what are the DLCs going to be at this point? We don't know. So for me, I personally feel like Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z will be a very good game. But will it be the best one in the franchise? That's kind of debatable. But at this point, if they don't add GT characters in it, it's just going to be another Dragon Ball Z game, to be honest. To answer your third question, I will tell that story fairly soon. I actually forgot to tell the story, to be honest with you. I had to go catch up with a lot of things that I've been missing out on, so I didn't really have time to do anything like that. So just be expecting that video very, very soon because I will be telling that video sooner rather than later. It was a very funny moment. It was definitely last year at this time. Paul freaking threw the football and he pegged the kid in the head, and the little kid just ran away, ran to me actually. That brat came out. I'm like, oh God almighty, Paul, what the hell did you do? And to answer your fourth and last question, do I like soccer? I like it, of course, but do I watch it? I don't really watch soccer, to be honest with you. I know a lot of other people watch it, but for me, I don't watch soccer, so I apologize again. But thank you for your question, man. On to the next question, which is from Shimon WZ11. Hi, Alex. I haven't sent you a question in a while, so here we go. Question 1. Will you be wrestling at Hog versus Ring of Honor? Question 2. Since Vegeta will be turning Super Saiyan God in the next movie, do you think he will blast... Wait, do you think his blast will be different colored than in Battle? Okay. Like in other games, Boo has a pink Kamehameha. Question 3, are you going to watch The Conjuring? Question 4, how is life? Question 5, since the world is full of sin, when do you think it will be Judgment Day? Damn. Question 6, have you ever faced red in a match? Question 7, if we say this and that we are in the Illuminati, why do we still watch and listen to those things? Oh, that's true. Thanks for answering my questions, and God bless you. God bless you too, my friend. To answer your first question, I will definitely be wrestling at House of Glory versus Ring of Honor. It'll be August 18th. Tickets go on sale now. I mean, if you want to go get them, it's on www.houseofgloryonline.com. So definitely something to go check out right there. I will be wrestling. Who I will be wrestling, I do not know. Hopefully it's going to be somebody good, but if not, then it's okay. To answer your second question, I don't believe that his attacks will be different color. I mean, for one, Goku's Kamehameha wasn't red or pink or green when he was in God mode, so I do believe that the color of your blasts will not be affected, but I do believe that it'll increase the power of your attacks, I mean, just tremendously, without a doubt. To answer your third question, I want to watch The Conjuring so bad, except all the movie theaters that I went to, they weren't showing it, so I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like, I was trying to go with this girl that I was with, and I was like, what? I can't find The fucking Conjuring anywhere, and so instead we saw Grown Ups 2, and we saw Pacific Rim again, so, I mean, I had no other option at that point, you know? To answer your fourth question, how's life? Well, at this point, all I can say is this, life can throw its curveballs at you at any given moment. And it all depends on what kind of a person you are, whether you accept it or not. You're still going to have to go through with that. At this point, I mean, I was better off, you know, last week than I was this week. I mean, this week's been very rough for me. So many things going on. I mean, just so little time. You know, I mean, for me personally, I mean, I'll get by eventually. I mean, we all have our rough times, don't we all? But certainly, nevertheless, I mean, if you want to know what's going on, I'll go into a little bit of detail here and there. Number one, it definitely involves, you know, a girl for sure. You know, certain things. I mean, sometimes females can be so difficult that you can barely understand what they want. You know, I mean, it's just, I can make an entire episode on this, which I'm planning on doing, actually. Another thing, actually, is work. I've been working, and I've been trying to freaking come home and do everything at the same time, that it's taken a toll on my body. I'm very, very tired. I mean, I haven't been this tired in, like, a long time, because, like I said, I mean, I barely get any sleep, because I'm always up doing things. If I'm not working out, then I'm making videos. If I'm not making videos, then I'm working out. It's just, but I'm always making videos, so I mean, it was just, but I mean, life at this point, it's kind of rough, but you know what? As people, we learn to get by, so hopefully I get by. So, to answer your fifth question, I like that question. The world is full of sin. When will Judgment Day happen? You know, come to think of it, it hasn't even gotten worse yet. I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, it's bad. It's very bad. It's horrible. But I fear that the worst is yet to come, honestly. With the way everything is happening now, it's only going to open up a door for more bad things to happen. And I do believe that it's going to get severely worse as the years go on by. With all the things they're doing in Congress, with all the things people are doing on the streets. Oh, man, I mean, Judgment Day. I fear that, I mean, we all fear hell, obviously, so I hope and I pray that we all make it to heaven, because I believe that we're all good people, except we make bad decisions. So, I mean, Judgment Day, I really don't know. Do I think it's imminent? Yeah, I don't think it's imminent. I do think it will happen. But will it happen soon? No. Will it happen way in the future? Probably not. But that's not me to decide. I mean, listen to me. If I was God, I would have just went through with Judgment Day a long time ago. For the simple fact that you see what's going on, and it's just wrong. It's wrong in every sense of the word. And I mean, people these days, they don't care. So I mean, what more can you do? To answer your sixth question, have I ever faced Red in a match? Yes, I have actually. It was a student versus trainer match. Nothing on the indies just yet. I would love to face Red in the indies. I'm not gonna lie to you. He is a tremendous athlete. I mean, he is great in the ring. Personally, for me, we do have our own chemistries. Don't get me wrong. There were moments where we had our battles, and it was just amazing. And I love being in the ring with that guy. That guy is something special. I mean, truly something special. And to answer your last question, if we say this and that are Illuminati, why do we still watch and listen to those things? Because people sometimes are like sheep. They can't lead themselves, so they have to be led. It's for the simple fact that they can't let go of their, personal favorites. Like, say, for example, they say Lil Wayne's in the Illuminati, but they still listen to his music. Personally, I'm guilty of that too. There are certain things that I hate listening to or hate watching, but I still watch it anyway because of entertainment purposes. I try my best not to be influenced by the imagery or the symbolism behind those things. Because let's say, for example, we're watching basketball. I personally watch basketball to see, which team is better, which athlete is better than the other. In terms of arrogance and cockiness, I don't pay attention to none of that. But the only reason why I feel like a lot of people, they ignore it is because they're so used to it. I mean, there has to be a day where people just say, you know what, I'm tired of this. It's not what it used to be, to be honest with you. Back in the day, it wasn't as bad as it is now. I mean, maybe now they're using it for a trend to make money, but certainly it's ungodly. I mean, anybody with eyeballs can see that shit. But thank you for your question, man. Jesus Christ. Anyways, on to the next question, which is from the Beast, H23. Hey Alex, your videos are funny and amazing, and you got my attention back in December with the DBZ Battle of Gods movie. And on to the questions. All right, question 1. When are you going to do another Mind Wars? Ooh. Question 2. Who would you like to see fight Alberto Del Rio in the next pay-per-view? Question 3. If you make it to the WWE, would you be a heel or a face? Question 4. Which next-gen console will you be getting if you want one at all? Thanks, Alex, for answering my questions. I hope you make it to the WWE. Thanks, man. God bless. P.S. Fuck you, Paul, and P.S. Fuck you, Yamcha gets fucked by Squid. Yeah, can you imagine that shit? Thank you, man. God bless you, too. To answer your first question, the next Mind Wars, I really can't reveal that information, but you will see in the next couple of days what I'm going to do. So, I mean, just stay tuned for that, because if you think that I'm not going to do another one, then you're wrong. To answer your second question, I would like to see Damien Sandow versus Alberto Del Rio. That'd be pretty cool if Damien Sandow cashes his Money in the Bank against Alberto Del Rio. That'd be pretty cool for me, at least. I mean, just seeing him and, Alberto go. I mean, I would love that personally, so... To answer your third question, heel or a face, I would definitely be a heel first. I'm already a heel now, so I mean, I'm having fun with it, So would I enter as a heel or a face? I would enter more of a heel than a face. To answer your fourth question, I'll be getting both consoles, but which one will I be playing more? That's up to, the future to decide, sort of say. I think that I'm gonna be playing the PS4 a little more because of its online integration system. We're not gonna be spied on by the damn Kinect. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I really want to play Dead Rising 3. I really want to play Battlefield and Assassin's Creed and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, personally, at this point, I do believe it's gonna be the PS4. But I mean, let's just see what happens. I mean, I mean, the future. I mean, November and October and December are they're not so far away, but they're still pretty far away. So I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see on that one. But in terms of the two, I really want both of them. But in terms of certain games, I would have to go with PS4. But thank you for your question, Mr. Beast. On to the next question, which is from the Savage Saiyans. Hey, Unreal, I know you heard of Dragon War Z2. Hey, I am Seriously Fan 77, cousin of He Thought of It All. Well, I actually never heard of Dragon War Z2, but anyways. Question 1. Which game is better, Battle of Z or Ultimate Tenkaichi? Question 2. In Dragon War Z2, we are going to do what you did for Mine War Z, or Mine War, sorry, sort of, I thought it would be awesome. Question 3. Which game should I get, Ultimate Tenkaichi or Battle of Z? Question 4. Which Xbox is better, Xbox One or Xbox Connect? Wait, that makes no sense. Xbox Connect. There was never a system that was released called Xbox Connect. It's just the Connect. Question 5. What game should I do for my first Let's Play, and I want your opinion? You spelled opinion wrong, by the way. Question 6. Can Stryker be Raikon's relative or something like that? Who the hell is Stryker? Question 7. Can Raikon be in one of my Let's Plays later on this year? Please. My username is the Savage Saiyans. What is your username on Xbox Live? Question 8. Who would win on a team battle, Raikon versus Jace, Birder, Raccoon, or Kui? Oh my god, Raikon would smash them. Question 9. Which PlayStation is better? Question 10. Which is the best animated show? Question 11. Which game is better, Budokai 1, 2, or 3? Question 12. Can you voice in my Fantastoria or Striker, please? Alright, question 13. Where does all of your matches take place? Question 4. What is the best Xbox, Wii, PlayStation, or Wii U games? Question 15. Oh my god, so many questions. What game store do you think I should always get my games from? Question 16. What computer should I get? Oh my god. Question 17. Has EQ2Light's downloading process annoy you? Question 18. What is your Instagram username? Thanks for the questions. God bless you. You're my idol, and I can be best by. Thank you so much, man. To answer your first question, like I said, you can't really say anything about Battle of Z because it didn't really come out yet. So at this point, I'm going to leave that question blank until Battle of Z comes out because you can't really say anything until you actually play the game. So, to answer your second question, whatever you're planning on doing with that, good luck with you. If you're planning on doing the same thing I did, then it ought to be very interesting in and of itself, so I can't wait to see what you're going to do with that. To answer your third question, what game should you get? I think you should get Battle of Z when it comes out because it's going to be a fantastic game. So between Ultimate Tenkaichi and Battle of Z, definitely go get Battle of Z. To answer your fourth question, I really don't understand what you mean by which Xbox is better, Xbox One or Xbox Connect. So I'm going to leave that question blank again because there is no such thing as Xbox Connect in terms of an Xbox console. The Connect is a separate, hardware piece for the Xbox, so I can't really say. But to answer your fifth question, what game should you do for your Let's Plays? I really don't know. Whatever you like to do. Since you like Dragon Ball Z, go ahead and do Dragon Ball Z. Me, I love all games. So I do every single game I can possibly get my hands on and the games that I still have. But personally for you, it's whatever game you feel like doing. Honestly, if you want to start off with a certain game, start off with a certain game. But for me, since you like Dragon Ball Z, I'd say do Dragon Ball Z. To answer your sixth question, I don't really know who Stryker is. And you're saying, could he be Raikon's relative? I would prefer Raikon not to have any relatives because Raikon's a lone character. He's not supposed to have any brothers or sisters or whatever because that's not going to make any sense. So Raikon is a standalone character, no relatives at all. But can Stryker be one of Raikon's associates or friends or, sort of like battle buddies? Then yeah, sort of. Yeah, go ahead. To answer your seventh question, can Raikon be in one of your Let's Plays? Sure, why not? As long as you utilize him correctly, then why not, To answer your eighth question, that'll be a slaughter because Raikon would destroy Jace, Birder, Raccoon, and Kui without even trying. Raikon would decimate all of them. So, to answer your ninth question, that is a good question. Which PlayStation is better? Between the PS2 and the PS3, I would have to say the PS2 in terms of games because it had such classic and original games that you can never go back and recreate ever again. But in terms of online integration systems and all that other good stuff, I would have to say the PS3. So there you go, the PS3 in terms of generation-wise, online and downloadable stuff and whatnot. It's definitely the PS3. But in terms of video games, PS2. I'm sorry. To answer your 10th question, what is the best animated show? I really can't say that because I loved so many animated shows that I don't really have a specific one that I hail as the best. But if I had to name some, it'd be Dragon Ball Z, it'd be Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Digimon, it would be Ed, Edd and Eddy, it would be Dexter's Laboratory, Looney Tunes, all that kind of stuff. So you can't really say at this point because they're all great shows. To answer your 11th question, Budokai 3 was the best one. I mean, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and Budokai 3, so. To answer your 12th question, I mean, sure, if you want me to voice, in your little striker sort of storyline, I mean, I guess you just need to let me know what's going on and when and how, and I mean, I'll do it. So to answer your 13th question, where do all my matches take place? They don't take place in a specific location. They all take place in different locations. My recent one was in New Jersey, so it took place over there. But in terms of House of Glory, it took place in Queens, in Brooklyn. So that's where my House of Glory matches took place. To answer your 14th question, best Xbox, Wii, PlayStation, and Wii U games. I mean, you got God of War, you got The Last of Us, you got Gears of War, Halo, you got Zombie U, you got Resident Evil, Umbrella Chronicles, you got games like that. You got Super Smash Bros., you got Mario Party, you got Left 4 Dead 2, you got, Assassin's Creed. I mean, there's so many great games. I mean, at this point, those would be some of the few games I would say that are the best for the PlayStation, Xbox, Wii, and Wii U. To answer your 15th question, I mean, this shouldn't even be a question because you should go get your games at GameStop. That's the best place to get your games. Either GameStop, or if you don't want to go outside, you just go to Amazon.com and you order it. But for me, I would definitely say GameStop. So GameStop is the place to go if you want to get your games. To answer your 16th question, what computer should you get? Honestly, I don't really know. I mean, you're sending me this message through a computer, right? So I'm pretty sure the computer you have now is fine. You don't really need a specific computer. All you really need is a computer that can run, correctly, and that's pretty much it. So you already have the basics on that, so just stick with that for a while and you'll be good. To answer your 17th question, did ZEQ2's Lite's downloading process annoy me? It didn't really annoy me so much because it went by really fast. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the downloading and extracting really did take a while. So that was pretty much of a bitch to do. But nonetheless, I mean, it was still annoying, but not as annoying as like sitting there and waiting hours for it to download. And to answer your last question, it is Unreal Studio Entertainment and Alex Mason 47. Go check those shits out. Anyways, on to the next question, which is from Quan Plays Up. All right, what do you think about the sequel of Superman, and how do you feel about them introducing Batman in it? Question 2, do you think that Warner Brothers should wait and take their time with it and lead it into a Justice League like they did with the Avengers, or do you think that they should have attempted to make the Justice League to versus the Avengers? Well, to answer your question, I'm really happy that they're going to add Batman in the Superman sequel because that's going to be very interesting. I wonder how the story is going to play out because that's going to be very interesting to see as well. Remember, these two are never friends. They were never friends. They were never butt buddies. They were always opposed one another to a certain extent. So seeing Batman in this, I cannot wait. As long as it's not Christian fucking Bale with this Batman voice. I mean, I really don't want to see none of that garbage. So I'm really hoping that the next Batman will actually utilize this and actually be the Batman that we all wanted to see. But against Superman, I have a feeling that they're gonna fight. So I cannot wait to see Superman fight Batman. In a physical fight, Superman would slaughter Batman. But in terms of brains and in terms of smarts, Batman would outdo Superman any day of the week. So, and in terms of Warner Brothers taking their time with it, yeah, they should have took their time. They should have introduced and they should have made some references to the Justice League and to Batman, Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter. They should have already done that in the other Batman movies. They should have done that in the fucking Man of Steel movie. They should have done these things a long time ago, just like fucking Marvel did. But, they don't want to be like Marvel, so they wanted to do their own thing. I mean, is this going to work? Maybe. I personally cannot wait to see Superman and Batman on the same screen at the same time. But the Justice League versus the Avengers, if they ever did a movie like that, which I highly doubt, if they ever do a Justice League versus the Avengers movie, that will be the greatest fucking movie in history of everything that exists. Because that right there would be the pinnacle of movies, in my opinion. But thank you for your question, man. Anyways, everybody, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you all for watching this week's episode of Fan Mail of the Week. I promise that next week will be a little longer than today. I have a lot to do today. Not only that, but I have to catch up on my sleep because I'm running tired. My eyes have like bags over bags over bags. So thank you all for watching, everybody. As always, my name is UnrealEntGaming. If you guys haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel for all the latest news, information, updates. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit it up with a like, rape, and sodomize that thumbs up button. Leave your thoughts below, guys. Try try to also send me video format questions. That'd be pretty cool because I want to see some of you guys. I want to see some of your questions, and I want to hear some of your questions out loud. So if you want to do that, go ahead. If not, that's fine. All right. Shit, I have to run out of my sleep. Anyways, guys, I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Stay tuned for more because the first thing I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna hit the showers and I'm gonna fucking knock out, because if I don't knock out now, I'm gonna fucking be like a vampire. So I hope you all stay tuned for more, and I hope you all take care. Have a wonderful day, and it's time for me to get some sleep before I fucking die of exhaustion. All right, everybody, please.